We call upon Dr. Harshita, who will be speaking on I am not only in the eye, systemic diseases associated with itching and watering.
Thank you, ma'am. So I would like to discuss a few systemic causes of watering and itching that we see in our routine OPD. So not always the watering and itching that we notice may be related to the eye. I would like to discuss a few cases. So we had one patient who came with complaints of redness and pain in the left eye on and off since 6 months, associated with headache on the left side. He has been to multiple hospitals before and every time he got treated with topical steroids, antibiotics, but he says that his symptoms kept recurring after stopping the medication. He had no other systemic complaints. So upon examining, the visual acuity was 6/6 N6 in both the eyes and the intraocular pressure was also normal. The right eye examination was unremarkable. Coming to the left eye, we noticed a significant scleral and episcleral congestion in all the quadrants, more in the temporal and the superior quadrant. The fundus examination was normal. Thus, we made a diagnosis of left eye recurrent anterior diffuse scleritis. Topically, the patient was started on prednisolone acetate eye drops and he was also referred to the rheumatologist for adequate systemic workup. Upon examining, they found that the patient's ANA profile was positive as well as the quantiferon gold came positive. So they started the patient on anti-tubercular therapy and systemic prednisolone tablets, and topical prednisolone was continued with slow tapering doses. After about 3 months, the scleral congestion had reduced, but mild episcleral congestion persisted. Patient was also started on immunomodulator therapy, low dose methotrexate initially. At present, the patient has completed 9 months of anti-tubercular therapy and he has been using methotrexate and tacrolimus systemically. And the patient now is in remission of scleritis since 12 months on routine 2-monthly follow-up and has not been using any topical therapy since 1 year. Since it has been a year since the patient is in remission, the tapering of immunomodulator therapy has been started. Thus, various systemic diseases can present with very subtle signs first to the ophthalmologist. While examining, we should also be careful to look for some other systemic indicators which can direct us into thinking that maybe the patient has an underlying autoimmune condition and we should send them at the correct time to the rheumatologist for further evaluation. So we had another case of a 40-year-old male who came with complaints of redness, severe pain, watering in the right eye since 1 month with worsening since a week. The patient gives history of similar symptoms 6 months ago which resolved on taking treatment, and he has history of joint pains. So coming to the examination, in the right eye, we see that inferiorly there is a 2 mm crescentric area of significant thinning from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock position with active infiltrates and vascularization. Rest examination was okay, and in the left eye also there was 2 clock hours of minimum thinning in the temporal peripheral cornea. Sorry, I don't have the picture. Systemically, upon examining, the patient was on wheelchair due to lower lid deformity, and also in the hands we can see ulnar deviation of the hands along with swarm neck deformities. So topically we suspected peripheral ulcerative keratitis, started prednisolone and moxifloxacin eye drops, took the patient up for conjunctival dissection and also referred him to the rheumatologist, who found that the RA factor was positive. Along with our topical therapy and surgical therapy, the patient was on systemic methotrexate, folic acid and prednisolone tablets. Now the patient is on regular follow-up. There is no recurrence of symptoms since past 1 year. We can see that in the image that there is infiltrates have completely resolved. The patient is doing much better and even his systemic symptoms are under control. Some other options that we have for very significant PUK with impending perforation can be cyanoacrylate glue with BCL, Tennant's patch graft, amniotic membrane, corneal patch graft, or even lamellar or penetrating keratoplasty in severe conditions. Thus, a combination of topical therapy like preservative-free lubricants, collagenase inhibitor, steroids, immunosuppressants, cycloplegics, antibiotics, along with adequate systemic therapy like immunosuppressants or corticosteroids, or if you're suspecting infective etiology, then antibiotics is important. If we do, both should be done together so that the patient's condition can be adequately resolved and there will be no recurrence noted. Coming to another case where a 53-year-old female suddenly came with complaints of severe redness and watering in the left eye since 2 days. The patient gave a history of undergoing pterygium surgery in that eye 10 days ago. Systemically, the patient was a known hypertensive and gave few episodes of respiratory infection in the past 2 years. No other significant history was elicited. Coming to the ocular examination, the right eye was within normal limits. In the left eye cornea, we could notice a scar where the pterygium was excised, and a melted conjunctival graft was seen with focal necrotic scleral tissue and significant congestion surrounding that area at the site of pterygium excision. So we made a diagnosis of left eye surgically induced necrotizing scleritis and started the patient on topical prednisolone as well as ofloxacin, but also we sent the patient for a rheumatologist opinion. Upon examining the patient, C-ANCA had come positive and they diagnosed the patient with Wegener's granulomatosis or granulomatosis with polyangiitis and started systemic prednisolone and cyclophosphamide in tapering doses. The patient was on regular follow-up with us as well as the rheumatologist. At 3 months follow-up, we can see there is significant improvement. There is infiltrates have resolved, the necrosis has arrested, congestion has also reduced significantly. The patient is doing well now. The average life expectancy of a patient with Wegener's granulomatosis without any treatment is 5 months with a 1-year survival rate of less than 20%. More than 80% of treated patients have recently survived for at least about 8 to 10 years after diagnosis. Thus, since or surgically induced necrotizing scleritis may not always be related to the surgery, we must suspect that there may be an underlying systemic condition and we should do a detailed evaluation to prevent such dreadful complication and manage it in time. Thus, I would like to conclude by saying that patients with multiple systemic diseases may first present to the ophthalmologist with some simple complaints of watering and itching, and they may often even be misdiagnosed as conjunctivitis or blepharitis. We should always have a high index of suspicion. Along with ocular, we should also look at the various systemic signs that the patient is presenting so that we can refer them to the correct doctor at the correct time and the patient can get proper treatment for the same.